we started our own business probably about like 4 going on 5 years ago.
It was in October of 2015.
So yeah, going on.
Do the math.
Going on almost 5 years anyway, but so this wasn't a overnight thing, an overnight success. There's actually been some work put into this, and we just want to tell y'all a little bit on how we started our business from, you know, in our experience and our opinions on how y'all might be able to start a business.
We bought a house,
yep.
And as it's a brand new house, there was nothing in the house, and we realized real quickly that we were gonna have any furniture. So we got the bright idea to DIY it.
DIY is a lifesaver.
Yes.
Look, if you can read, if you got all your phalanges and your toes and your mind is right, you can DIY just about anything. I mean, it's everywhere. There's so many platforms. You can, whatever you think of, you can do it.
You can YouTube it.
You can YouTube it. That's like, you know, Pinterest, YouTube, all these things, they're right there for you to use. So take advantage. Take advantage. You'll surprise yourself, you know.
So we started with a bed frame, bought a mattress, a king size mattress, and we realized real quick that we didn't have
a bed frame.
We didn't have a bed frame.
Right.
So we built one with the help of family, but we didn't.
Yeah, the first time, you know,
because they have the tools. We didn't have the tools.
Yeah, we was starting fresh. We didn't have nothing.
We had never built anything on that scale prior to
Lego blocks.
Yeah, we built the bed frame, and then we realized, hey, we need more than just a bed frame in our house. You know, and so we
I mean, beds are important though. Don't sleep on that.
Yeah.
You'll catch that tomorrow.
But and then we built that coat rack.
Yes.
And there was a coat rack. It's really small. We saw one on Pinterest and we were like, oh, that's really cute. Let's make our own. We did. We built a coat rack. And then we built, I think the coffee table was next. I think it was.
Well, see, we tried to build a dining room table.
Oh, that was
but
janky.
Yeah, it was very janky. That was like, I think that was like one of the first big projects.
Yeah, you did that one by yourself.
Is that the one I did by myself?
Yeah, I just helped her sand it.
Yeah, so that was Dirty Diane. She was a trooper until she was a pooper.
Oh.
Before people even knew like that we were starting to become a business, it kind of took off of Facebook actually when we posted our first. I think we posted either the coat rack first or the bed frame.
I think we posted the bed frame.
We posted the bed frame first and then the coat rack, and then around the time we posted the coat rack, people were like, so where are y'all buying this stuff from? We're looking all over the place for this. We don't see this anywhere. And we were like, man, we made this. We made it ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and this is around the time where, I mean, DIY was, you know, I would say it was fairly big, but it wasn't big enough in our area, I would guess. But a lot of people were like, man, where'd y'all buy that from? And we were like, we made this ourselves. Yeah. And they were like, so how much?
Yeah, how much if you make one for me?
Name your price pretty much.
So we were like, oh, we can sell this.
So, you know, ever since then, we started off with the furniture stuff. And,
and at one point in time, everything pretty much in our house, we built our dining room table.
We built the dining room table.
8-foot farmhouse table.
Yeah. And then
repurposed some chairs.
Got some chairs and man,
just like cat tower.
Yeah, cat tower. We was like I know I've never took wood shop or any of that stuff in school. I don't even think we had wood shop in school. So
not
tiny town, Mayflower. So it was surprising to me, like, to be out on your own. It's something about being out on your own and experiencing stuff for yourself that you wasn't taught as a kid, or something that wasn't passed down to you, and to be like, hey, I've never done this, but I'm gonna give it a shot, you know what I mean? And that's what we did without any prior experience to doing any of this stuff. We just jumped on it. We seen other people on Pinterest DIY coffee tables and all this stuff, It was like, man, we can do that. You know what I mean? We ain't
so
dumb. We can read. You know what I mean? And it
we
took
started
off.
making our own designs.
Yeah,
once
own
we
design
figured out
stuff.
how to do all the math work and everything.
Right.
And we bought tools, and now we got all sorts of tools in our garage.
You know,
we can build it
so
all
many
now.
tools. Yeah, we got everything now. So
a few things we still want, but
pretty much. We don't have everything.
Yeah.
But we have the necessities that you would need to
and some extra.
be able to, and some extra to be able to build what you need. But
then, so people got really hype about that, and they were wanting to buy the stuff because they really liked what we were posting. Because our style was super farmhouse, super rustic, and just, And so then we decided, I can't remember how that went down, but I do believe, I liked wood so much. The wood aspect, that I wanted to incorporate that into jewelry.
Right.
And then so we went to Michael's, because I was like, hey, there's beads at Michael's, I've been there before. And so I took him along, and then he fell in love with some of the beads because he wanted to start making men's bracelets. And so I was making necklaces, and he was making bracelets. And then he started making necklaces. And so that was really cool. And that's how we started our Etsy page.
Off of jewelry.
Yeah,
like furniture. We were still doing furniture.
And then nothing stopped.
Yeah, nothing to stop. We still got all this stuff, but it's funny how we transitioned. It's just a thought. It started with a thought. Man,
this is cool.
This is pretty cool. I mean, we've already built our furniture. We ain't never had experience, so we can do this too. You know what I mean? Why not? So we started Etsy with jewelry, with bracelets, and it was really that. We got our first sales on Etsy, which was crazy awesome. And he did a custom wood piece necklace, a really big wood circle. Just experimenting.
Really cool. And we felt so awesome after that because we were getting sales
on Etsy, man. And if y'all don't notice something, see the pattern of if you put your mind to it and you have an idea, and like I said, we're not dumb or anything like that. We can read. We're smart enough to do the basic stuff to get started. The pattern. The pattern shows itself that anything that you can think of, you can manifest it into the now, and all you have to do is just do it. A lot of people don't take the chance or the opportunities that's given to them. They don't act on it. They just sit and I'll get started on it one day. I'll get started on it one day. The whole time y'all getting started on it one day, you got other people
already doing it.
They already doing it. Everything that you thinking of, just about, somebody is acting on what you thinking about. And that's why you come up with all those people that's like, man, I thought about that years ago. Okay, but you never acted on it.
Right, and then by the time we get started, it's like, well, everybody's already doing that. And so nobody really cares about it.
Exactly. So I encourage everybody that if you have an idea or if you have a skill, to have a skill already, that's something you have, that's a gold mine already. So act on it. Don't wait. Do not wait, because we started with furniture. We started with furniture, had no idea what we were doing at first, you know what I mean? But we did the research and we just had a drive. We had a drive to do the stuff ourselves instead of having to dish out a whole bunch of money on furniture like coffee tables, kitchens. Y'all seen how some of this stuff is expensive. This furniture out here is crazy, you know? So
yeah, we wanted to offer rustic furniture and quality pieces for not as crazy expensive as other people were selling. Then jewelry happened, and then
found out we were pregnant
May of 2017.
And shouts out to my wife, because even while she was pregnant, she was still doing woodwork. She was still helping building tables and doing all this stuff. And you would think like, man, why was she doing all that? You know, she pregnant and stuff. She'll go get it. She'll go get it. When she get her mindset on something, it's gonna get done. Period. Shout out. All day. Because most women will probably be like, oh, that's not a woman's thing to do. She's not regular. Once you start rolling, you know what I mean, and you start stepping into different territories, but you remember from where you first started, like, we never knew how to do wood working or anything, never took any classes or none of that. So for that to be in our background, in our back pocket, that was like something that enhanced our faith that we could excel in just about anything we wanted to do. Keep in mind, there's several platforms out here now. It's totally different, you know, from the way things used to be a long time ago, even in my lifetime, you know. So, and I'm just 29, I'm 29, you know what I mean? And she's 26. So, you do the math. I mean,
we're still young.
We're still young, still in our youth. So the simple fact that you got to think the platforms wasn't around back when I was in grade school and stuff like that. It was,
we were the generation of
right.
Facebook.
We're at the forefront of all of this stuff.
YouTube.
So you know, coming from a place to having all these ideas and just not knowing what to do with them. They were just like hobbies, you know what I mean? Anytime we had an idea, not necessarily like woodworking and stuff, but just any idea, it's like, hey, it would be cool if we came up with this and found a way to make money like everybody taught, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, even like most of the stuff that we did, I say besides jewelry, because I think jewelry, we wanted it for us, but then we saw the value in it.
Sure.
But everything else was like, hey, we just want to do this stuff for us.
For us, that's what it was.
And people were just like, oh, this is awesome.
Right.
But so we made some headbands. You remember the first one that I made? The one I tried to make the little twisty turban thing.
Alright.
It looked ridiculous.
We're gonna say this. Ever since she picked up the sewing machine and she started sewing, coming from a place that I've never made any type of clothing ever, you know what I mean? So the simple fact that she could, one time
throw it in a glass.
I made a pillow. Before we get started on the clothing page,
I decided to make a romper one day because I was like, I'm tired of headbands because that's all I was doing, and I was like, I'm gonna make Everly a romper. And I posted a picture of it cut out. And I was like, okay, because I wanted people to believe that I did it. Because I was like, this is about to be lit.
It was already lit because, keep in mind, it wasn't a lot of baby fashion going on around.
Not around here, for sure.
Not around here.
We got Walmarts and all that.
We got dealers and all that stuff, but it wasn't custom stuff that people are looking for. I mean, you get those same type of styles, same type of outfits.
Really random colors
from all these different companies. So we were trying to offer something that was, you know, hip and, you know, stylish in.
Like adult clothes, but like baby size. That's what we wanted. And there wasn't a market here for that when we first started. And so I made this romper for Everly. It was pink. I bought the fabric from Walmart. It was like, you know, just plain pink. And posted the picture of it, her in it. And people were like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And that was around, I think, April, maybe?
Yeah.
And then, so we started making more headbands. She wore them to the Easter event. Yeah. And people were like, oh, where'd you get her headbands? And then, like, we were like, well, we make them. Right. And then we got our products.
Yeah. Different products.
She's our billboard, basically.
Oh, yeah. When you have your own child and you make baby clothes.
Yeah.
And she's pretty, but even if pretty or ugly, it wouldn't have mattered. We was gonna dress her down. We made our own clothes.
Yeah.
We made our own clothes. So she was gonna be a model, even if.
But then we got an opportunity to put some things in a pharmacy, a local pharmacy in Conway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so we only got a few things in there now, but we're so busy now that it's hard to like find time to put product in the store.
We're getting to that point now where we're gonna have to start hiring people because trying to keep up with everything is, look,
We're trying.
You can't do it by yourself.
We are trying.
That is another lesson. That's another lesson. You cannot do it by yourself. You gotta have a team.
Yeah.
Gotta have a team. I know you probably heard many people say, "Oh, you can't do it by yourself." You gotta have people in your corner. They're not lying.
I'm saying
they are not lying.
You can try to do it by yourself.
I mean, you can get. Don't get me wrong. You can make some revenue by yourself, but there will be a time that
you might want to check yourself into a middle.
If you want to keep growing, as a business, you need people in your corner. Luckily, we had each other, you know, and we got a little model, and we got God on our side. Number one, we got God on our side, which has helped us out tremendously. Things happening that we can't even explain except, man, it got to be God, you know what I mean? But for us to blow up like we blew up, you know what I mean? Not an overnight success.
No.
This is like 4, almost 5 years into a business, and most people that you hear about say it takes at least 10 years to get a business off the ground to where you can say we made it or whatever. So we're like, right now we're only just going on 5 years, almost halfway there, and you know, this is what's going on with us. But I'm telling you, you have an idea, even better if you have a skill set. We're living in a time now to where anything is possible. I mean, all you have to do is just apply yourself. You have an idea, man, write it down, do whatever you gotta do the research, and see people from these places all over the world liking your stuff. I mean, we literally have to hit translate on some of these comments because they're in their own language, and it's like, this is crazy. This is crazy, but yes, it's exciting at the same time because it started the way it started for us. It's still in our back pocket. We still can look back at. We started at not knowing how to do anything. We were just passionate, and
we're still learning.
Oh yeah, every day.
You'll never understand it all.
Oh, it's probably gonna be. It'll be another video. It'll be another video with something totally different that happened that we didn't know or expect.
I feel like as business owners, I feel like if you do arrive at that moment where you're like, oh, we've got it figured out. Like, I feel like you're never gonna grow from there.
No.
Like, that's where you peak.
No.
And it's like you can't feel like you figured it out.
Always stay in your lane. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Because if you do that, it can slow you down.
Yeah. But the thing is, people like what you do because you're doing it. Like,
most definitely.
People have a certain style that they like, especially like fashion and stuff like that. Like, there are times where we put out things and then we'll see somebody else doing it. But it's like there's enough customers to go around.
That's what I'm saying. The world is full of people. It's like what, up to 8 billion or almost 8 billion people in the world.
There are plenty of customers.
It's not that many people that got their own business. You know,
build it up locally.
Locally is a key factor. Wherever you are, you want to reach those people around you because it's kind of like it's kind of like a fire. Like, it starts and it spreads out. So if you can reach the people that's around you,
don't get discouraged if you can't.
Right. Because of the platform. Because of the platform.
Some people, that's biblical. You can't really do. Sometimes you can't really do the best.
The best work in your hometown. There's a lot of people that we grew up around that still don't know the magnitude of what's going on.
They think it's a hobby.
They think it's a hobby because, like I said, the platform, we're like the forefront of the platforms that's out. People, that's our generation.
And we aren't the typical people from our town.
No, not at all.
When people start to realize that, they're like, oh, so y'all like doing it.
Yes. 100%.
We're not playing.
We got the license and all that stuff. We got all that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be discouraged. That's what we're saying. Don't be discouraged by the people around you. You stay in your lane and you stay focused and just act on it. And because people are going to come. It's just a part of life. People are going to come, especially when you have your own business and you're making your own money and stuff. You're going to have sharks come after you with ideas, trying to invest. But before you can get to that stage, you're gonna have people that's trying to block your way. People that you grew up with, closest people, friends, family, all that stuff. You'll have people like, don't do that, don't do that. And what I'm telling y'all is, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Whatever you got your mindset on, just act on it.
Yeah.
Act on it.
And you know, like we're believers, you know,
100%.
and so we take everything up with God, and so it's like,
100%.
does it line up with the Word of God?
Right.
Does it line up with what God is telling you?
Right.
It's like in your spirit, and it's like, okay, then go.
Yeah.
It may not make sense
Right.
in this world. It may not. There's a lot of things that we do and are
People don't
thinking about
understand.
doing,
You gotta think.
and that are in the works right now that people are like, that's not very smart.
Look, you gotta understand that the oldest person in the world right now is still not that far from a baby in God's eyes.
Right.
So you gotta understand that we're always learning, we're always growing, and don't let anybody trick you out of your position. That's number one, because if that happens, then you're gonna always run into those roadblocks wherever it started. Wherever it started with, you're gonna always run into those roadblocks unless you go back to where you started and cancel it out and get rid of it. Be cordial with people, but do not trust the smile, because sometimes those people that's like, good job, we believe in you and we're proud of you. Sometimes those people are the ones that's like behind closed doors, like, man,
should be doing that.
Yeah, or what make them better than us? We can do that. I thought about that idea, but none of that. That's all the wash. None of that matters at all. None of that matters.
You gotta have thick skin to do it.
You got to.
Because I mean, it's people aren't nice sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know, we're blessed to have a supportive family. We do, you know, we have the occasional people will say, you know, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well, a family being family, they're gonna always try to look out for you, what they think the best interest is. You know. Yeah. Our families are supportive, which we are thankful for. You know what I mean? But don't let your guard down at any time.
No, because like I said, fear creeps up. Fear does, and especially when you're doing something that you're like, this is a big deal. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we'll talk about in the future that's coming to Recaptured Values that is like, we just have to sit back and be like, whoa. And so you can only imagine how people are going to respond to stuff that's in the future that's going to happen to Recaptured Values, and we're excited to have you guys be a part of that.
Yeah, 100%.
We're excited to be able to share like this.
Look, y'all doing life with us. Y'all doing life with
this
the
is
good
what we want. We really want to do life with you. And we realize obviously that not all of you are local.
Right.
You know, we do want to host some local events. We've been talking about that.
Yeah, most definitely. That's coming up.
Yeah, so host some local events, but we didn't want to leave out our, you know, our followers that are everywhere.
Look,
we have a lot.
Yes, 100%. If y'all take anything from this video, just know that whatever you put your mind to, and I know this sounds cliche, but it is 100% true. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You can manifest it. If you can think it, it's already being born in your head. Just like giving birth to a baby. It's already being conceived in your head as a thought, but it's up to you to act on it and make it a reality.